It's been 4 years. It wasn't meant to be a career for me, and I've done my civic duty, I think, but it's time for me to do something else. I think it's good to have some turnover on city council, and I ultimately made a personal decision for me not to run again. One of the things I really was hoping would have some legs, which ultimately hasn't, so I'm a little bit disappointed about that, is just getting Rossdale developed into something. And we've got the power plant, which is I would argue the most iconic building in the city with huge potential. We've got land down there that's already developed, that's already almost downtown. There's been constant development over there for 100 years or more. The Aboriginal community's been down there for hundreds of years, and so I was hoping there'd be some traction to get some restaurants and bars, a place to go for coffee, so you can access the river valley, and as well stop and have lunch or a cup of coffee. And so there need to be some housing down there. So it's quite a complicated piece of land, but I think it's the one piece of land that's got the best opportunity in the city, and I'm a bit disappointed that hasn't gone anywhere. Blatchford's obviously started, and it's it's progressing, albeit quite slowly, and I think there's some cause for concern that we don't want to have too much, especially housing developments and competing housing developments that the city is leading. But this is different than Blatchford. I mean, Blatchford is really focusing on the green development and that sort of thing. But this is really about you'd have to have some housing in there to make it some economic sense. But it's really about having, again, a place where you can stop and have a cup of coffee, go for a walk in the river, a bike ride, meet up with some friends, and really have a focal point in the middle of the city that everybody would come to on a regular basis, similar to Granville Island or now the Brewery District in Toronto. I mean, every city has this sort of thing, and Edmonton, it's the one thing that Edmonton is lacking, is we don't have this central focal point where families and individuals can go, and for us as well, by being on the river valley, it really is a starting or an ending point for accessing the river valley. Not everybody's a hardcore runner or a cyclist, and I think having a little bit of the best of both worlds there is a great idea.